I think it was probably around 9 o'clock when we got the call. We get there. It's very heavy smoke. Like you said, over the radio, we get trapped victim, possibly trapped victim. So that's the only thing.
Just printing some papers in Sunset. I was off duty. Just needed a printer.
Right.
Call comes in, structure fire. Grab my gear, I jump on the truck. We pull up on scene, I see light smoke coming out the house.
Showing, we make it on scene. At no point did we have an indication that there might be somebody inside.
Jump down, grab the irons, head off, run to the front door. There was 2 doors we had to pop. One was a pretty solid glass door, and the other one was a normal wood door.
And as I stepped foot out the truck, they said, we have a victim inside over the radio. And I caught that. And I looked at the driver, I looked at the chief, I said, I'm packing up and I'm going in.
They said, hey, this is the fire department, is there anybody inside? Nobody answered, so again, I backed off again from search. You know, I'm still...
So when we all ran in, it was no gravel wall, try to find the door. It was all just, we all piled up inside of there.
And once I got to the front door, it was unlocked. So I opened it. Well, it was hot.
You close the door behind you?
I didn't go all the way in.
No, but I mean, so you just opened it and
I
did,
opened it,
no.
I peeked in, like I crawled in, just like half my body, and I was like, oh my God, it's hot.
Yeah.
And I turned back around, I closed the door back.
At this point, somebody had walked up behind Chief Spell and said, hey, there might be somebody inside the house. You know, if he is, he's in a back bedroom somewhere. And I overheard that from the top of the ladder, right? So can I go for a search? Like, would you mind if I go for a search? And Chief Spell's absolutely about it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, go get it.
Go figure it out.
Yes, the thermal, I mean, it was fogged up, mask was fogged, kept trying to wipe everything, couldn't see it. Even if I would try to look at the thermal, just a big white cloud.
I started knocking on windows, couldn't hear nothing. They'd said over the radio that she was still moaning. Thought that I would have heard some type of slight noise, nothing.
And search, tripod method, foot on the wall. I was just making my way around the house, you know. And once I got to the living room, which is the next room after the kitchen, right, I could hear him breathing.
That's been lading. I dropped to the ground.
Right.
And whenever I dropped to the ground, I probably had maybe 3 foot of visibility then. So then now I was able to figure out, okay, there's a doorway here.
While they were getting a call or whatever, and
But she was just moaning.
just
at some
moaning
point. Right.
at that point. So I figured I would be able to hear her moan. I'll dive through the window, you know, textbook routine search. Nah, it didn't happen like that.
So I make a beeline for what I can hear, which was down a hallway on the right, and then all the way at the end of the hallway on the left is where I actually ran into his legs, right?
And then we ended up in the hallway. Whenever we ended up in the hallway, that's where Greg said he met us, but I had tunnel vision so bad that I don't even remember meeting up with him. I just remember grabbing doors, opening.
So I resorted back to front door.
Yeah.
Go back to front door, be a man. It's only gonna be hot for a little while.
Suck it up, right?
Pretty much. So I get in the front door and I started a left-hand search because there was fire on my right side. So obviously I don't want to go towards the fire.
Yeah.
So I get chest to chest with him. I do my little arm sweep, finding other victims. You know, just regular stuff you normally do every single time.
Sure.
You find a mannequin in the training tower or something like that.
Where search around. Where you find one, you find more.
Right.
Sure.
Opened up the bathroom door, walked inside. Still the visibility was it wasn't as heavy as the living room and the kitchen because the door was closed, but it was still pretty thick inside of.
With my left hand on that door, I felt with my right hand, and I felt a round squishy object. Didn't know what it was. Almost passed it up, was going into the next doorway, and something just made me feel down her leg, and it was her foot. And I'm like, found the victim.
So it was already dark in the house, but on top of that, you know, I couldn't see anything through the smoke. I mean, I'm face to face with this man. I cannot see anything. So
I felt inside the shower tub. Nothing was in the shower tub, and by the time I got out the shower tub, she was laying in between my legs, and that's whenever I verbalized to everybody, saying that I found her. Started pulling her out by her legs because it
just kept backing up, scooting, tripod method.
Yeah.
Dirty drag. I got her to the doorway, and they took over.
Other people that's over the radio, you know, attack 1. I've got a victim.
All units, attack 1. I got a victim.
so that they know that.
It was most definitely not something that I thought I could have done, being I am 112 pounds.
Yeah.
This woman was
Big
bigger
guy.
than me.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought it would be me doing this, but
I crossed his legs at this point, pulled his knees up into my hip, and then I just tripoded as fast as I could out, right?
Besides being a trap victim, because I mean that's the first time I ever had that happen.
Sure.
house fires. And I said, look, if we get a house fire in Sunset, I said it's not likely, but if we do and we working together,
Right.
I've got a little bit of search background with Captain Chris Scott. I said, I want you to know you can trust me, for one. I will go in without a hose line. You just meet me with a hose line in the building.
Problem with that, again, he was awake. So while I was taking him down the hallway, he was grabbing onto door frames and things like that. You know, he's not very aware of what's happening, right? He's nervous. He's already a little slippery, so it's hard to keep hold of him. I'd already been fighting fire for a second.
What I expected was to be able to go in, you know, feel around, go to the room. If she was there, grab her, pull her out. Really didn't happen that.
Everything played out to that T.
Lo and behold, 4 days later,
4 days later.
that exact scenario.
Exact
It's y'all two on the truck,
Yep.
confirmed trapped, and somebody has to search.
So I get about halfway through the living room whenever he slips out my arms completely. You know, he's a heavier dude. He'd already been grabbing onto stuff. Pretty tired.
Made a difference, and
Getting lower sooner.
Most
That's kind of
definitely.
like that's what you're saying. Get lower. Try to orient yourself to a couch or a recliner or whatever, and then kind of start
Fill a
low.
wall and-
Yeah, start low and stay low.
Yep.
And
So now that I'm looking back at things, we talked about it, but I still didn't do my plan like I thought I had it in my head. You know?
yeah, adrenaline.
But at this point, actually, another firefighter had came in, right? Firefighter Cole Champagne had made entrance into the house where I had came in and said, you know, hey Murray, where are you at? You know, he's trying to find me to find the victim so we can both
It
go.
was definitely that, or a flashlight would have helped me too.
Didn't have a flashlight.
Didn't have a flashlight, didn't have a radio, didn't have arms, didn't have.
Yeah.
So I rotate him around. Cole's able to grab his top half. I'm able to grab his bottom half, and we get him all the way outside.
You know, could have been a different outcome.
Never be complacent.
Never complete.
I've
That's one of
learned
the things that Kojo had said with the Station 8 rescue. That one of his takeaways was, he goes, man, I just come off the line. I had less than a year on the line, and you kind of think, he said, don't think it won't happen to you.
Going on, right? He had some burns on his throat, a little bit on his chest and back, you know, just as it goes. But other than that, man, he was
he's back
he
living.
he was up, right? You know, and then we got him on a stretcher and got him to the hospital. You know,
It taught me a lot right there. Complacent wise is the biggest thing. Don't get complacent. Don't think it's never gonna be you, because it will be.